Should you or your students compete? I think so. Let's see why. Hi interweb people, I'm Bubka, and in today's episode we have a look at competing and what benefits are there for you and your students. Before that, if you enjoy the clip and the content of my channel, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing the videos. If you didn't enjoy it, please consider sending it to your enemies or people who you don't like, so they can suffer. I'm over 40 and still when I can I compete. I think it's very beneficial for myself. It helped me to overcome an anxiety, it helped to build my confidence. But let's start from the beginning and let's have a look on the children. So now the part of the problem with people suffering with depression and mental health problems is the no lose and no failure in schools. Young people are not being taught how to deal with the failure. Everybody is a winner in schools, and I think is wrong. I think that young people should taste what it means to lose and what it is to fail, but not be a failure, but experience the failure, which is a huge difference. If they are taught how to deal with the failure, then we've got a stronger individual. When they finish school, they've been introduced to no failure, they're going into the work, and then the life takes no prisoners. You're gonna be fired. If you fail to do the job properly, you will be dismissed. So I think there's a place for a competition and failure. So sports can prepare you, and it's not only martial arts but any sports. When you compete with others, it's helping you to learn how to deal with that emotions of failure when you lose, and as well deal with the emotions of winning. You know, we all winners can go astray as well a little bit, get cocky and so on. But if you look on the failure, through sports we can control that failure. So you take people to the competition, they start compete, they are prepared for competition. It's never the same as training in a club, so there's different dynamics of the competition. There's more stress. The children learn how to deal with the stress of competing, being watched by other people. That build them confidence. If they are successful, they enjoy it. If they lose, there is a space for coaches to learn them how they can deal with this. So we're going back to drawing board. That was the mistakes we done in competition. That's what went wrong, that's what went well. Don't take it personally. You are on the beginning of the road. Let's go and start training again. And then successfully children getting better, start winning fights, their confidence growing, they know the taste of the failure. Then in school, if they lose, they are not panicking about it. That can be easily transferred to when they're going into the work. Something goes wrong, there's a lot of stress put on them. They've got the mechanisms to cope with it. They can analyze what went wrong, what went well, how to improve and build on it.
Hello friends, I'm Christian from Karate Parxis. Today I want to tell you about a very good idea. I'm a little bit jealous because it wasn't my idea. You know where I'm coming from. Okay, the very good idea is this book, The Karate Journal by Bubka from the UK. Les, very good work. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this book. But first, again, Les, thank you for sending it over. I will work with it. And your idea of putting this together is really great. Since I think that what you put into this book is what we all should do and work and act like. But I think a lot of guys didn't or don't do by now. Okay, please forgive me for my bad English. I'm trying as good as I can. So let's put together this as a tracking book of your training aims, your overview of what you planned, a date of course, and then summary, what did I learn, your mood before, after and during the session, and then put a little bit together and think about it, what you could improve and what did go well. And this on one page. So it's brief. Everyone can do it in 5 minutes to think, what will I do today? How will I do it? What is my aim? What do I want to get out of this session? And then put things in a nutshell and see what went well and what can I improve for next lesson. And so you can do it day by day and training by training. And once you have all this quite 300 pages worked, you have a very, very good history of where you started and where you are now. So go to the bookshops, get in contact with Les Bubka, and get your copy of the Karate Journal. I do strongly recommend to track your success with Les Bubka's help. So, be well, stay strong, and work with Les' new book. Goodbye.
For adults like myself, the lack of confidence sometimes holds us back, and going into the competitions give you a chance to rebuild that. For my club, I've got few people who suffer with very low self-esteem, who never dreamt of going to competition. Through training, mentoring and encouragement, we went to competition. First one was not so successful. They enjoyed it, they've been very stressed, but afterwards they said they enjoyed it. That gave them confidence to try again. Went for the competition 2 years ago, just before pandemic. Enjoyed it, brought some medals, as the picture on the thumbnails, and their confidence grow. Now they are asking, when are we gonna go for competition again? I really enjoy that. It's stressful, yes, but it helps me to build myself up. I can see that the years I put in training are successful. And as well, I know that people saying that, if you're doing the self-defense, rules of the competitions, yes, I agree with that. It's not the same and never gonna be the same as a fight or a situation on the street. But I think the competition is closest we can get to a real stress. Yes, we can go through the situational training, but if we know the people from our club, we know that we are safe. In competition, you are closest to the situation when the other person wants to harm you. And the stress is huge. So we can experience that adrenaline dump. I myself been frozen on some competition where I didn't know what to do. My abilities dropped, just like in the situation on the street. I unfortunately can compare. I had a few situations on the street, so I know how it feels both. Yes, it's not the same, I agree with that, but it is close to it. And we can test our spirit as well, especially in knockdown, where you're fighting to one's body fail or being knocked out. It tests your resilience. Everything is painful, everything is aching, you cannot go any farther, but you're pushing yourself. It's just the same like fighting on the street to survive. It's not the same, but you know what I mean. It is extremely stressful, extremely painful, and you need to push yourself to do. Motivation is different. On the street you're gonna have more motivation because you want to survive. In competition it depends how much you want to improve yourself and prove yourself. I've never been great in competition. My mental setup is not fighting. I easily pleased. One fight, I'm happy. I don't need to put up more fights. It depends on the day and the focus as well. But it gives me a chance to taste that adrenaline, enjoy it, learn from it. Then as well, for me, failure. I failed in many competitions. I've been knocked out, I've been knocked down, breathless, liver shots, head kicks. It all helps you to get the feeling of being injured. I had a situation on the street when I've been hit in the back of the head, and it felt nearly the same as being knocked out with a heavy kick into the head. So it gives you that chance to taste how it is to have bruises, how it affects you. During the fight you don't feel that, it's all coming back hour after, when the adrenaline drops down, and the same mechanism working on the street. But when you win, it's an instant gratification. You know that you put up the work, your mood is going sky high, you've got that endorphins and happy hormones boosting through your body. You don't feel the pain, you're happy. You feel the pain, but you're happy overcoming it. And it's a great camaraderie as well. So you're meeting people, you make new connections, you learn to fight in front of the crowds, if there are crowds. That helps as well with putting yourself out there in the world and doing YouTube clips, writing books, public speaking, speaking at work, coming out to people, have a small chat. I always been bad with the small chat. Now it's easier because I done this. You have to speak with people, you know. So I think it's very beneficial for you to go out and test yourself. And as well, that control failure. We went to the competition, we lost, we can come back. Okay, it's just an episode in life. I can go overcome it. I need to put more work. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna go and win. As well, it helps you with focus. During the fight, if you're not in right focus on the job that is in front of you, you're gonna lose. Trust me, I done that. I've been going in worrying about stuff and being my ass kicked. On the days when I can completely focus on my target, I need to win, I have to fight. Everything went well, I won. So it helps you as well to get that focus. As well, going back to self-defense, I've got a great article in my blog. I'm going to post the link in the comments and the description. I call it a Kano Paradox. So Jigoro Kano invited fighters from a traditional jiu-jitsu where using the deadly techniques, they've been allowed to use deadly techniques, not daily, deadly techniques, and I think 8 of the fights won judo people. From my experience, from my friends' experience, people who compete in contact sports do better on the street, do better on the doors, because they training all the time those techniques, so it becomes natural. The deadly techniques, shots in the throat, poking the eyes, breaking limbs, you can't test it in a dojo enough to be sure to rely on them. And that's what Kano proven with most of his fighters winning, and I can attest to that as well from my friends' experience who've been in the police, on the doors and in the ring, and have situations in Poland on the street. It's not the rule. If somebody wants to harm you, you won't see, like I mentioned previously, there was no chance I can see that wood hitting me in the back or whatever it was. So unpredictable situation, yes. but having that fitness, having been in competition, it can help. That is my opinion on that subject. So if you've got a chance to have competition, just go and have fun. And I said that about the positive side of the competition. There is of course negative side of the competition. If you go on a competition where judging is not right, you can be robbed of your fights and stuff. Done that to me, happened to me as well. I've had silly excuses to fail me and remove me from a competition or take my medals away. And that's life. That teaches you as well that life is not fair. You're gonna go into the work, people not gonna be playing fair, and that's another negative positive, if you see what I mean. From that we can learn, but the key point is mentoring, coaching, especially the young people. That's what happens. Don't be a failure. Don't feel like a failure. It was just an episode. It was a part of your life. That impacted you at the moment, but it doesn't define your life. You are not a failure. You can overcome it, you can learn, you can train, whatever you need to do, overcome it, learn from it, move on, be better. But learn how to deal with that stress. That's gonna help you in every walk of life. Today we're gonna be back to Marshall's story. I'm very grateful that Ken from KenFu TV shared his story with me, and he recorded a video which saves you and me listening to my reading out. Thank you for that, Ken. It makes my life much easier. And check out Ken's channel in the description below. KenFu TV, great content all the time. Ken is a good friend of mine, and he always got something interesting to say. He's much more well spoken than I am, so it's a pleasure to listen to him. He's got a really good opinions and views on karate. You should listen to him and comment on his stuff. He's doing a great section of comments as well. And let's listen to his martial arts story.
Hey Les, I've got a martial story for you today. Actually, a couple of them, and they both revolve around my first child student. His name is Brody. He was 3.5. They'll make sure you know how old in halves they are. And the first story comes from when we were training together, and what my instructor had me doing to just wear him out to get him to focus and all that, which I would do. And so we're training, and one day I'm working with him, and all of a sudden he just bolts off. Just gone. Blast across the room. And then comes flying back. He says, sorry, had to go get my Batmobile. The second story, a little bit different take, is later. This was a number of years later. He's probably 5 or 6. He's training with the person that I started with. Me and another girl had started at the same time, and through time and training, I had kind of outranked her a little bit by then, but I was working with her. I was teaching her some stuff, and I was teaching him some stuff. We were working together. And he's just lost. Looking around, goofing around, doing whatever. And she also looks lost, but not nearly as aloof, right? Just not tracking. But I'd finished giving the instruction, here's what you're going to be working on. And then I was going to leave, and I said, okay, so you guys got that? And I was like, yeah, I got that. I said, okay, so then what did I just tell you? And she gets this look on her face. And just like, yeah, you called my bluff. I don't. And immediately without a beat, he's not even looking. Brody's not even looking, and he's going, oh yeah, well she's gonna punch, and this is because of that. I'm gonna step to the side, and then we're gonna do this block, and then we're gonna do this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and just rattles off everything we had talked about. He had looked like he was not paying attention. So I learned so many things, and these are 2 lessons that I learned from Brody. One is never underestimate a kid. They pick up and see and understand so much more than we ever give them credit for. And I've tried to carry that on into any time I work with kids going forward. And the other thing I learned was sometimes you just need to go get your Batmobile. So, anyway, much love from Wyoming. We'll catch you later, Les.
Thank you for listening to my rambles. Thank you for listening to Ken's story. I hope you enjoyed it, and like I said on the beginning, if you would like to support the channel, please consider liking it, sharing and subscribing. You can also help with the channel through buying our merchandise. We've got the Karate for Mental Health t-shirts with all the money raised from that going towards my Karate for Mental Health program, where we get students with mental health issues or physical issues joining our club and training for a minimal fee or for free, depending on their circumstances. Also, we've got the affiliate link, so you can support our channel with buying stuff through Amazon. It doesn't cost anything extra to you, but some little money goes into our account, what we can put in into running a club, recording this, writing books, doing promotional stuff. And thank you very much for listening and your time watching it. I appreciate it. Thank you for all people who subscribed, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.